Got to get it, Papa. Well, here I am. And if you could tell from the background, I'm not just sitting in the parking lot this time. Thank God. I'm actually on the road. And what a road it is. It's a 2-lane blacktop. Wait, I've heard that somewhere. Anyway, it's a 2-lane blacktop, and I'm headed right now. I headed south, kind of. And I don't know what's going to happen on this adventure. I had some ideas, but I don't know if that's going to work out or not. So we'll just have to see what happens. But I say to you, just keep watching this exciting episode and you'll learn a few things, maybe. If you didn't know some of this stuff already. Like, for one thing, South Louisiana is, for the most part, kind of flat. And I'll stick this out the window, kind of. If it wasn't for the trees, you could probably see like 5 miles away, straight shot. You can see for miles and miles and miles. Okay, that's enough. And there we go. Let's go to the front and see what we can see. See more flatness, and there's the hood. And but yeah, for the most part, it's pretty flat. And that's South Louisiana, because we're pretty close to the Gulf of whatever you want to call it. Gulf of Mexico, America, or whatever. Either one, it's straight ahead, really. Look, the giant finger appeared, and yeah, you can follow the giant finger and eventually get to the Gulf, the warm Gulf waters, and enjoy that. But it's that direction. Otherwise, except for the stuff on the windshield, you know, it's pretty flat. Passing over a bridge, by the way. Whoa! Look at all that flat, because it's almost to the Gulf. Well, now on this exciting adventure, we're going to engage in some nautical nonsense, and that I haven't really experienced since way back when I was south of Mobile, Alabama. And you can check out that exciting episode because we rode a ferry across the south end of the bay along the Gulf. But it wasn't a day like today. It was a stormy, rainy day, and it was super exciting because they had me like up at the front of the ferry, and the waves were crashing over the front, and and I had my slicker suit on, and I was hanging on to the railings and everything in my mind, and but I made it. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this exciting episode of Look Dat. But yeah, we're at the near Cameron, Louisiana, just to the west of it, and there's a lot of construction and road work and utility work, all kind of stuff going on in Cameron. So otherwise I was gonna try to show a little bit of it, but the traffic was too crazy there for Cameron. So but we're gonna see this exciting stuff. Yes, that's the ferry entrance behind the giant finger. And the ferry, I think, is on its way back over here to pick me up, and there's nobody else over here. It's nobody else is waiting, so it's gonna be like a small see, there's like, and it'll be a small group. I don't know how long it takes, but one thing to note on the sign over there is that you do have to remain in your vehicle while aboard the ferry. So I won't be able to get out and climb on the railings and stuff like that this time. But that's okay, because I just mainly want to get across the water here. Well, the ferry just made it to this side, and people are starting to get off of it. And it's weird because it parks sideways. It doesn't go right straight to the end. So we're gonna see what happens when I go to get on here. Well, I'm all parked and everything. And one thing I wasn't sure about, but I did find out, is that to cross the Cameron Ferry costs $1. So I had to dig up all through the cushions and everything and find all my pennies, and because they're going to get rid of them anyway. So I was able to pay my ferry fee to get across. And we're just waiting for other people to load up. But yeah, I had to come on and go like I was going to the other side of the ferry, and they go around and it made a big circle. And I don't know if I don't know when I get to the other side if I'll be the first one off or what. It remains to be seen. Oh, we were moving already. That was quick. It took a little while to get everybody on here because there's not a whole lot of traffic. But once they did, now we're moving. And you can see there's people parked on that end, including a 18-wheeler cab, and then there's a truck with a boat right here, and he's actually pointed at the other side where the other gate is. So I reckon we're gonna pull up over there, and they'll open that side up. And I don't know when I get off of here, what order, but it should be interesting. And look, I'm going backwards, y'all. Look that. And it's not super wide over here as far as the waterway goes, but it goes up to the Calcasieu Lake, I believe, up there. And big ships have to get through here because there's all kinds of loading places and stuff like that up there by Lake Charles. And so they have to be able to get through. So that's why they have a ferry instead of a bridge. Just because of the amount of traffic, and the expense of a bridge wasn't really worth it, so they still use a ferry right here. And I'm turning my hand backwards. I can't see what I'm showing, but somewhere back there is the other side. Uh-oh, we're turning. We're starting to turn. We're going sideways, y'all. Look, look there. That's where we came from. Now we're going sideways, kind of. Captain of these ferries have to have fun learning all kind of cool maneuvers and stuff, apparently. So I'm not gonna be able to see the landing dock at all. I don't know what's gonna happen. But we're still going. Look, you can see up there. Look, we're going all sideways and stuff. We're swinging around. Look that! Hang on, everybody. And just like that, we're on our way. There's a little action-packed exit, so I couldn't really show all that me. So, because I wanted to stay on the road. And, oh, now we got, okay, there's all kind of stuff happening right here. Okay, we get to go straight. So, let us continue our exciting adventure. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of nautical nonsense of us going in circles in the middle of the river. Seemingly uncontrolled, but no, very much under control. They know exactly what they're doing. But to some, I almost said something bad. Some people who don't understand that, they might get frightened when they see us going sideways. So anyway, here we go. But that out there, if you see blue, that is the Gulf. Yes, we're along the beach, everyone, in southwest Louisiana, the mighty beach. And it's really not a lot. It's not like Florida, it's not like California and all that. We don't have, for Louisiana, for having as much coastline as we have, we really don't have a lot of beach. A lot of, like, you know, beautiful sandy white beach. And that's because of a lot of different things, part of which is the Mississippi River, and the way the currents flow and all that, and how the land formed along here. We just don't like have a lot of sandy beach. We have some nice mud in some places. If you like that, you can go stand in the mud and feel the salty water lapping at your kneecaps. And speaking of beaches, I believe this settlement to the left over here is actually Holly Beach, and they're all excited because their utility lines are getting fixed or installed, and or both. And there's Holly Beach. Look that! It's a vacationer's dream, and that's all you need to know about that. Oh, the pickled pelican is over here, in case you weren't sure. But yeah, they're, you know, kind of watching the traffic here, but you can see all the camps and stuff, and a guy's waving at us. And you see how tall that grassy stuff gets along here. Yeah, Holly Beach RV Park. Look that! Yes, it's quite amazing. And just so you know, there's nothing on this side. It's all on this side of the highway, and the Gulf is on the other side of that. So there you go. They have frozen bait. They have souvenirs back there. I see all kind of stuff. Look at that, y'all. Now I'm just passing by. We're not gonna go stroll along the beach or anything. I didn't bring my water shoes for that, but that's okay, because at least we get to see it. And now you can say you saw Holly Beach at least one time. There's more construction. I better watch out. Oh, hello everyone. Well, as you can tell, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Pretty much. But I say to you, there is something over here that I had to slam on the brakes so I could stop and look at. Look that! Yes, it's a big monument for the Creole Nature Trail. So naturally, I had to stop. Get it? Nature, naturally. Anyway, but look that! There's an alligator perched on top, and somebody wrote Joe on it on his neck. But that's okay. That kind of thing happens sometimes. But yeah, it's the Creole Nature Trail, and that's kind of what I'm following along, sort of, not really. And even it shows here, you can spot exactly where I am because it says so. So I am here, and I'm supposed to be over here, but that's okay. It's just a slight detour. But these are assorted critters you can spot over here if you're lucky enough. You have alligators that can kill you. They have bobcats that can kill you. There's no, not some of these other ones don't actually kill people. I've heard horror stories about the possums though, or the opossums. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, look that. There's a good close-up of his grinning, fiendish face. And here's a look out at the marsh out here, where you're likely to see one, maybe. I don't know where. In the water, perhaps, but... And look, mysteriously of all, there's some big tracks coming through here. See, it's like a... Look that. That is mysterious. But not really, because they're working on these power lines. They're installing brand new ones that we've seen for mile after mile. And they have these amphibious vehicles that actually travel, and they smush down stuff and make tracks like that. So when you're out wandering around in the marsh all by yourself and you run across some tracks, don't be worried. It's not an animal that's going to come kill you. It's just some people that hopefully they wouldn't kill you, but you know, you never know. Depends on how you look at them. But oh look, here's the other side. Look at that. Let's look inside his mouth, since nobody's here to stop me. Look at that. You ever seen inside an alligator mouth that close? Well, now you have. Well, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did anyway. Look at that. Look at that. That's the Gulf of Mexico. America. And you can see it's not super surfy. I mean, if you want to try, you can. You're welcome to. You can try, but I'm not going to watch. And yeah, it's surfy. It's wet and salty, and it's nice and comfy out here. Really, it's a good temperature. And I'm going to look at the water, but I'm not going to get in it yet on purpose. But yeah, let's look at it. Oh, look at that. It's paradise. And look, there's nobody on this beach. There's nobody. This car's on the highway over there, which is I think the beach front highway or something like that they call it. And you can see the waves coming in. It's like Hawaii 5-0. And that way there's nobody on the beach. I got the miles and miles of beach all to myself. Ha! Ha ha! Ha! Hey, my feet are getting wet. Anyway, well, my shoes got wet a little bit. That's okay, they'll dry out. But yeah, I figured since I was only a few feet away from the Gulf at this point, I could show y'all. And if you can see way out there, there's some little things sticking up out of the water. That's some rigs, oil, gas, or whatever, because that's what happens around here. And we're gonna continue to go that way. And look, it's all nice and clear over here, but once you get to the land, there's some little clouds coming up. So look at that. And just in case you were getting some ideas, there are no vehicles beyond this point. So there you go. You can't go driving off down there behind the giant finger. Just don't even think about it. Oh, and look, somebody lost their croc. Oh, that's a fake croc though. That's not even a real one. Look at that. Well, here's another bridge that we're crossing, and you can see there's not a whole lot around out here, except there are lots of petrochemical plants and docks and stuff like that. But you can see different facilities out here. There's LNG terminals and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's how it works. They all come here. The big boats come here. Yeah, people are gonna fuss at me because I'm calling them boats. These big boats. Oh, and look at that! Look at that! We are now in Texas. I done crossed the Sabine River, and we're in Texas now. It doesn't look like Texas. I see palm trees. I don't think of that with Texas, but you never know. So, and there's all kinds of giant stuff being moved around and loaded up and everything. That was some dramatic speaking. And now there's a bunch of stuff you can't see anything. Oh wait. Now you can see stuff. See, LNG right there, right on the side of that big tank. And now some more bushes are in the way, and there's a truck coming, so he's gonna be in the way. Watch. Whoa, look at that. And then okay, and let's keep going. And now look. Look at all that. That's the wheels of energy right there turning. And here we go over the big bridge. Do not pass. Warning! Okay, anyway. Oh, it's a little bumpy. But it's a big bridge. We're going up. That's kind of the direction. In case you were wondering. And this is really getting us into Texas now. Oh, and look all that. Oh, if you can see over the railing, you can't see over the railing too good. Well, it was worth a try. But yeah, anyway, yeah, here we go. And plants as far as the eye can see. Chemical plants, LNG, all that. All that. We're driving right through the middle of all these plants and stuff. Look around us. We're surrounded by technology and energy production. And here we are. And we're not actually going to one of these plants, by the way. That's Valero's place right there, in case you didn't know. It's not a gas station. It's not a big, gigantic gas station. That's where they actually make the gas, I think. Something like that. They got those big egg deals over there. Look at the big eggs. Look that! And they make egg juice out of that. Not really. But yeah. Talk about the scenic route. Look back there. Look back there. Look all that. Covering it all, but here it is. And it's fun because all these things go over the road, so if you stick your head out your moonroof, it's gonna knock you top of the head. Pang! It just makes a little pang noise, and then you get back in your car. Well, here we are. I found it. It's the Sabine Pass Battleground State Historic Site. And it means the Sabine Pass is where the Sabine River flows out into the Gulf of Mexico. And that's pretty cool. And they had a fort over here and stuff that, you know, protected the pass. But, this caught my eye. Alligators do exist in this park, so we're gonna see what happens. I'm looking for them. They might be in that water right there. They could be watching me right now. Oh, that's makes me nervous. But you can see all the stuff, all the industrial stuff all over the place around here, except for right in the immediate area. It's a park. So that's pretty cool. It's got all that grass in the way so you can't see anything. They need a weed whacker over here. Somebody needs to bring their weed whacker. And there's a big thing back there, but we're gonna see that in a minute. But here we go. Now we're starting to see some park-like stuff. Let's see. I want to find a parking place. And I guess I'm gonna go over here. Look at these giant mounds. I think that's some ammo bunkers or something. Because this was even in use during World War II. Because there's a checkpoint. It's still in use. Well, look at this. This is some information about what's all this is about. And so I'm climbing the hill here. And they got little signs all over the place that tells about it. Yeah, Civil War coastal strategy. And ooh, it's Scott's Great Snake. If you ever saw that before, let's look at that. Let's just want to see what that looks like. Look that. But where we are, the Civil War times is right over here. And let's see. I'm not doing this in any particular order, but that's okay. This is the war with Spain at the end of the 1890s. And look, there's a gusher that's shooting oil all over the place. That's one of those things that's really fun. Before it starts shooting oil, they'll tell somebody, say, hey, go look in that pipe and see if it looks like it's okay. And you stick your face right there and you're looking in the pipe, and then they say, okay. And they pull the lever and whoosh, you go flying across the room. Or actually, that's outside, so flying across the yard. Oh, there's all kind of information up here. Yeah, the Confederates had built some battlements and stuff. Forts at Sabine Pass. And we spin around this direction. And that's something that's always fun, is yellow fever. Yeah, this is Civil War era. So yeah, the Confederates were very protective of this area, and that's a little oldie-timey map if you can see it. I'll put some shadow on it. There we go. I put my giant head on it, so it casts a shadow. But yeah, we're somewhere along here, and that's the Gulf of Mex-America. And let's see. Well, there was a Confederate victory here. Some invading blue bellies. Look, because I think that's what we are. Fort Griffin was what was here, because that's Sabine City, and all those are refineries and all that stuff's all along in here. And this is nearby. And look, here's another picture showing it, and that's the lighthouse. Look at that. So there's a picture of the lighthouse, and that's about the closest we're going to be able to get to it, I think. But I'll tell you some more about the lighthouse in a minute, because here's a little thing with information on it. Yes, they were building this thing. Look, I'll put it up close, and you can read it if you know how to read. But they wanted to build a lighthouse, but it's like in the marsh kind of, and it talks about how they built the supports and everything for it to keep it from sinking into the marsh or falling over. And yeah, what's Fort Griffin over here? And look, there's an oil discovery at Spindletop. And we actually went to Spindletop a few years ago. I'll put the number of that exciting episode down there. The Spindletop was fun. I might have to go back one day. The lighthouse is actually on the other side of the river, in case you couldn't figure that out from the maps. It's on the other side of the river, and I don't know if you can even see it from here. It's down that way somewhere, and you can't really get to it. They abandoned it like in the 1950s or something, and then they there's a group that's trying to restore it, and eventually you might be able to visit it in person. So that's something to think about. Yeah, here's a little bit of history a lot of people don't know about. World War II, the Germans were getting U-boats all over in the Gulf and all up, just off the coast of the Gulf Coast, all the way along the coast, and they were all over the place. And yeah, if you can read, you might be able to read some of this. Zoom in on that and freeze that so you can read that. You. Yeah, these things, I'm pretty sure were ammunition bunkers. They had a thing that said they used them during World War II. Oh, this one's all opened up. We'll go see inside. But they covered them with all the dirt and stuff. They probably had more dirt than what they have now originally. But yeah, let's be sneaky and try to see what's in there. Looks like a bunker to me. It's nice and echoey in here. Echo, 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 echo. Hello? Hello? Goodbye? Goodbye? Hello? Wait, hang on. But anyway, the ammunition would have been in here. It's all concrete and stuff. So you couldn't blow that up too much. And they had these metal doors, so somebody pulled that one open some kind of way. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And look, they have a cell phone tour too. I don't know what happens if you try that and you're not here, but oh well. But there's a scale model of the Fort Griffin. That was the Confederate fort. And on the map, you see the shoreline used to be way out here. Now this is like where it is. There's a sidewalk over there we can look at. But when the dirt went all the way out into there, they built this fort on there, and this is a little model of it. Let's look at that. But it stuck out into the water, and they had the little cannons on. You see the little cannons on there? They could shoot them cannons at anybody that comes up and wants a little fight on their hands. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure why that was like that, but they had that too. This is a monument to the Texas guys that were stationed here, I think going back to the Civil War. There's some other stuff on the back of here that might tell. It has a list of everybody. Yeah. At this site, September 8, 1863, yeah. Yeah, they repulsed an attack made by 4 warships and 1,200 men of the Federal Army. They shut them down right out in that water right out there behind the Giant Finger. But the Giant Finger wasn't there that day, but they were. And because they were, the Union didn't get up into Texas like they wanted to. And let's see, as I'm looking out, I can't see. Oh wait, I do see the lighthouse. Oh, we gotta go to the fence and you can see it. Oh, look at that guy. But look, I can try to zoom in. Way out there, there's a little thing poking up. Somewhere over here, you can see that. That's the lighthouse. And he just passed by. So that's the lighthouse that you can't get to right now because it's not open. But one day you might be able to go see it in person. And that's pretty cool. This is really old. In the meantime, there's some ships over there getting loaded up. and some tugboats to help them when they get ready to leave and when they get here. All that, and that's on the other side. That's still not Louisiana though. I think that's still Texas right there, but a little bit further it's Louisiana. And look, if you look real close at that ship, you don't need to be concerned. Don't worry about it. But there's water squirting out the side. Oh, look at that. Be worried about that. But there's water squirting out the side of it. But I don't think it's sinking. It's just getting water out of something that doesn't belong in there. Well, this is some other interesting information you can read if you know how. But it was a gunboat or boat battle. Basically, the Confederates captured 2 Union ships right out in the water out there, and you can read all that if you know how to pause your viewing contraption, and you can try to read that. But basically, the warships got captured by river boats called cotton clads because they had cotton all over them, I guess. Bales of cotton, and you'd shoot at it and it would just soak into the cotton, I guess. But they neutralized them and captured 2 Union ships. Wah, wah, wah. Well, that was certainly an exciting adventure, I hope, for y'all as well as me. But now I'm on my way back. I'm on Interstate 10, by the way, if you can't tell from the vehicles flying past me. But yeah, I just crossed the Louisiana border, back in Louisiana, and on my way home to the secret Luc-Dat headquarters. And yeah, like I was starting to say, this is a completely kind of a random throw it together, get in a car and drive kind of a Luc-Dat adventure. And it was kind of fun. I enjoyed seeing the beach and everything. I wasn't planning on going to the beach anytime soon, but I got to. And my shoes are still wet, so you know that's okay. But yeah, seeing where that old lighthouse is, I would like to go see that one day. That would be pretty cool. And you know, the battlefield and all, you know, read about all the cotton sides and all that, defeating the Yankees. That was fun. I never heard that story. So there you go. We learned some stuff, didn't we? That's why I have a headache. But in the meantime, hopefully we'll get back on a regular schedule with these exciting episodes of Luc-Dat, and you know, you can travel along with us, and or with me at least. And then that one way you can do that, I guess, is to subscribe. You can subscribe and share videos with your friends and enemies. If you know it will definitely annoy them, send one to your enemy and let them deal with it. But anyway, I guess at this point I'm just gonna hang on with this traffic. You can tell this is Interstate 10. We're doing about 60 miles an hour here because it's construction zone, so people are only driving about 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. And oh, here we go. So, oh God. So anyway, I survived this. Might see you on the next episode